Hello everyone, this is Laleh Hancock, and today I'm actually in Houston at the airport. Can you see? Yeah. I wanted to give you guys some information about Houston because sometimes people go to the wrong airport. There are two major airports. One is called the George Bush Intercontinental, which is IAH, and the other is Hobby Airport. And so knowing where you're flying into and where you're flying out of is going to be kind of important. If you do a lot with United, I think actually United comes to IAH more than the other one, the Hobby one, but I might be wrong because this is actually where I fly out of a lot. It has a lot of international flights and a lot of non-stops. So it's in the middle of the country in the US and does go to a lot of destinations. It tends to be hotter here and therefore not a lot of ice storms and things like that, even though they've had a few over the last few years. So you end up having a lot of flights that don't get canceled coming out of Houston. One of the things that I wanted to also share is for you to know, where are you flying out of, which terminal, because your Uber driver or you needing to drop off the car is going to be important to which terminal. There's a terminal A, terminal B, and terminal C. And United tends to go out of C, which is where most of its planes are stored. But that's something you want to find out. And I have found that sometimes looking at my United app, which is the airline I fly the most in America, you'll have that information, but you always want to double check because it might change. The terminal here in Houston doesn't change much, but the gates might change. And so, for example, if you're not sure where to look, Google is our friend. You can actually put your flight, like let's say United flight number, leaving whatever, IAH, and it will bring it up for you. And actually Google tends to sometimes have even more accurate information than the content that is in my app. So sometimes Google can be our friend. One thing is, this airport is huge, and even though it doesn't take a lot to go from one place to another, everything is walking. This is not an airport like others where you have trains that take you from one place to another. So this is something to actually take into consideration, the type of shoes that you might wear. And be comfortable. And I'm flying to Dulles, which is in Washington, D.C., and then to Portugal today, and also finding out what are the rules, because going from one U.S. city to another or one state to another, there are no restrictions of masks, and there's also no restrictions of tests. But if you do fly from the U.S. to another country, you want to find out what the rules are. So going to Portugal, you could either do a PCR test or you could do a rapid antigen test. And what I've found doing a million of these tests over the last 2 years is it really is, each city has its own rules and regulations. For example, in Europe, it was actually easier for me to find places because a lot of people travel overseas. Here was interesting. The lab that I found, they could give you the response quickly, so within half an hour, but they close at 3:30 in the afternoon. So, you have to have an appointment. You can't just show up. And even though there used to be many places that used to do them, they just don't. I'm sure the airport here has it as well, but I didn't check, and I usually like not doing it at the airport. I've done it in DC. They do kind of skyrocket the prices for you when you're doing it. Plus, why would you want to rush right before your flight to wait to get some results? So that's something that's a choice that you get to pick, but find what's going to be easy for you. The other thing is, don't be shy to ask questions. There's a lot of information on Google, but again, you gotta really look, because for example, I found 4 or 5 places I could take a test, and what I did instead is this one tool that I always share with everybody. It's called Light and Heavy. And when something's more resonating with you, your body shows you in lightness, like it's saying yes. And then when it's heavy or crunchy, or you feel like you got knots in your stomach or something heavy, that's usually stay away. This is danger zone. It's not really danger zone, but it's really one of the ways your body's saying, hey, stay away from this. And I've found that if I choose the one that my body says yes, lightness to, the whole process is ease. Like booking it online, paying for it, showing up, the speed and the fastness that it happens. And so far, except one place, which was in Orlando, it's been really fast and easy. They seem to have their system down and really easy. Orlando, I think I was really there because it was the lady's second day at work and she really didn't know what the heck she was doing. She knew how to do the test, but she really didn't know the paperwork, so it took a long time. But if you follow that for buying clothes, if you follow that for which doctor to go to, even who to sleep with, you know, and who to hang out with, you'll find that your whole life have been getting these signals from your body. It's been telling you, hey, stay away, or it's been telling you, yeah, let's go here. So the more you also like say, hey, yes or no, you'll realize that lightness will say yes, or the heaviness will say no. I do that a lot with my flights. You guys know that, you know, pretty much every week or every 2 weeks, I'm in a different country. Sometimes I'm lucky I'm in a country 5 weeks or something like that. But even choosing where I'm going to sit or which flight I'm going to take, sometimes it's not logical. It's not the shortest flight. It's not the flight that logically would have made sense. But when I go with the lightness, those are usually the flights where I have total ease, you know, like the smoothness of it. We're really following the energy. So as you look at your travel, wherever you're going, whether you're flying from Houston or coming to Houston or any other city or country, which is the one, the airline, the car rental, or the hotel that is actually going to be the one that's going to create greater for you? And hope all of this stuff is actually contributing to you guys. And I wanted to show you, because you know who's actually here. It's Precious. Precious is here. He's been traveling all around the world. And, you know, like really looking at also, you know, I'm a grown adult and people say, you got a bunny, but every single person has been so excited to see Precious. And, you know, what is it that is actually fun for you to travel with? As some of you guys know, Precious came to me Christmas as a gift from my friends Tatiana and Olga. And it's been really interesting because I love bunnies and we have one at home in Florida. And it's been really cool because even though it's a stuffed bunny, it's been interesting, like the ease I'm having being with Precious. What does that all mean? I don't know. It doesn't mean a lot. It just means like, what are things that actually bring you more joy? And what are things that contribute to the ease of your life? And for me, Precious has really been a real gift, traveling. And not that I ever feel alone, but it's always nice to know that Precious is there. So what is that for you as you are traveling? I'm seeing more and more animals on the plane, which is not something we used to see. But yeah, what is that for you? You know, sometimes people bring their pillows. Sometimes they bring different things that really allow them to have ease during their travel, especially if you're going overseas. You know, we have 6 hours, 7 hours, 9 hours. Sometimes when I used to go to Australia, it was like 15 hours. So what are things that you can bring that can have ease for your travel with you? Whether it's a book, whether it's audio, whether it's little bunny or anything else. So hope that's all a contribution, and let us know. We want to hear what it is that you guys are finding. You can comment below, and you can also message us. You can go to globalwellnessforall.com, contact us page, and share your feedback. And what else do you want to hear about travel? Because I travel so much, there's so much information. I just made a question to go from there. All right, guys, thank you. Please remember to like so that it can actually spread to more people, and comment.